As humans, we need shelter, a proper home to truly flourish. Abraham Maslow places shelter on the same level as basic physiological necessities like food and water in his hierarchy of needs, something that everyone, with our new living situation that has suddenly changed, will no doubt understand. But if having a place to live is a foundation for happiness and security, Cincinnati is a city built upon sand. Hamilton County's recent fair housing assessment exposed distressing amounts of widespread renting discrimination and high percentages of cost-burdened households. And as the advent of COVID-19 has made the last month one of extreme anxiety, some are also trying to navigate the fear of missed payments and eviction in a system that gives no support. It's easy to write this off as a purely economic issue, especially in the burgeoning depression we are experiencing as a result of the pandemic. But data show that housing inequality in Cincinnati is undeniably intersectional, with minorities experiencing discrimination based on gender, sexual preference, race, or ability. Depressingly but unsurprisingly, young Black mothers with children and people with disabilities are among the most housing challenged. Marginalized groups are invariably confined to less space, lower income areas. As the U.S.'s COVID-19 death toll climbs every day, the households in these areas face the greatest risk due to sickening inadequate accommodations, lack of wheelchair access, low air and water quality, utility restrictions, or the inability to afford insurance. Additionally, these households often reside in food deserts, where fresh and affordable food is out of reach. Imagine trying to stock up for the pandemic and having nowhere to go. Perhaps you do not have a car, nor the time to take an extensive trip. What would you do? These are not the questions that people should be dealing with in such pressing times, but many people are left with no other choice. These disparities, these challenges, these are the ones we must listen to. We stand before the hulking mass of an incomprehensibly widespread pandemic, but in its shadow lurk issues that have plagued us for much longer. As David Acosta, Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer of the AAMC, states, these communities that are marginalized, that are under-resourced and underserved, will always suffer more during a crisis like this. Our neighbors have always needed our help, but in a time where we face catastrophic loss of life due to institutional injustice, we must finally act. So what can we do? In the face of abnormal situations, we must create unique solutions that do not merely touch the surface of these institutional injustices, but go to the root of the matter to ensure a more resilient future. Poverty is not a product of anyone's personal choice, but the outcome of a failed system, and our housing situation in Cincinnati reflects that. Even before we change our policy, we must change our presumptions about the nature of Cincinnati's inequity. Although this pandemic will pass, affordable housing will continue to plague our city, and how we choose to act now can change the lives of many. While we are stuck inside our homes, that does not mean we cannot start demanding change now. Maybe that means further educating ourselves and adding more voices behind the matter or aligning with people already advocating for justice, such as the Affordable Housing Advocates, a local nonprofit spreading the word in Cincinnati. We can collect hygiene products or food for community donations or even write to our county legislators demanding increased assistance and access to resources in underprivileged communities. Nonetheless, we must keep on fighting for justice so that everyone can have a place that they call home.